What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Coop in the Coop, and today I'm bringing you guys a Black Desert video, and it's gonna be more of a change of videos than what I've previously been doing. Usually, I just post my gameplay and some cool highlights and whatnot, but this time I'm actually gonna give you guys a Awakening Megu guide to PvP. I'll be showing you my add-ons, my combos, basic movement tools, and yeah, pretty much how to engage and survive and utilize this character to its fullest. I not the best. I can pretty sure I'm not the best at the class, but I don't see anyone else making content around her PvP wise. So this is why I thought this would be a good idea to make this video. If you guys like it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. But other than that, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, I know a lot of y'all are looking at my UI here and you're looking at the bottom. So yes, I do play on a controller, but I do play on PC. So this guide will be able to help console players as well as PC players kind of understand um, the combos that she can create here. So um, now that I got that out the way, I want to show you my skill add-ons. So these are my PvP skill add-ons, and these are pretty much the moves you're gonna be using in your combos. The only one you might can change, I would say, would be slash, because I don't utilize slash that much because I don't use the core skill that protects the first part of it. But it is good to use slash and like these as the second CC in your combo if you want to go for like air attack follow ups, and we'll get into that as well. But these are my skill add-ons. Ambush is one of the best skills on Megu to engage with outside of Core Finale and Core Crush. So I'm gonna also show you all what Core Crush looks like because I feel like that's also a viable option. So Core Crush basically puts a super armor on the Crush skill because it's unprotected initially, but it does good damage. It has a stiffness on the first attack, which is that swipe, and then that last range little AOE there, she does the knockdown. So this is a good move to use. If you want to run the core skill, you can do that, but that will leave you with only one knockdown in her awakening kit. There's a combo I like to do that involves two knockdowns, so that's why I put the core skill on Finale, which puts a knockdown on Finale, because initially Finale doesn't knock down. It only does it in PvE, but if you get the core skill, it does it in PvP as well. And it also applies a minus 30% movement speed debuff, which is really good. And you can see my skill out on there, which is also adding a minus 20 DP buff to them. So that's and it's a strong move. So if you're getting hit with this in the beginning of a combo or near the end, you're definitely gonna take you're gonna be messed up. But other than that, that's kind of what I run for the core skills. Core Torrent is trash. Core Slash can be used. I use that for PvE. I've also seen a lot of people using Core Twirling Rhapsody, but I don't use that because she has a lot of floats already in her kit. But that does add a CC to armored or super armor move, so you can also test with that. But I suggest using Core Crush or Core Finale as your core skill. Now, for skill enhancements, I just use Spirit Parade. You can also use Heavenly Return. Either one is good. I use Spirit Parade just because it's protected. And sometimes I need just some extra protection to get my stamina back. So that's why I run Spirit Parade. It is a lot slower than Heavenly Return, but Heavenly Return is not protected. So it does give you a stun on that, but I wouldn't use it. Constricting Charm, it's another super armor. It's just a lot better than Pedal Snare. And Soul Charm, I have been thinking of going back and using Soul Charm just so I can have two heals on Awakening Megu. Um, but Spirit Sparks is, I mean, it's not bad, I guess, but I would suggest using Soul Charm. Honestly, there's no point in having another ability. Like, you're not going to be using Spirit Sparks at all, pretty much. I would never use it. I just haven't changed it yet, so I would suggest getting Soul Charm here just for the HP over time. But yeah, other than that, that's all I wanted to say about the skills here. Oh, I'll go into depth about them later on. All right, so now we're gonna get into the movement segment. So I'm gonna show you guys how to move on Awakening Megu. So what I like to start with is her charge ability. You can do this twice. This goes on a 10-second cooldown, and it does take a good amount of stamina. But once you're done with charge, you can go into Hazy Path into your soul tier. So what I do is charge, Hazy, soul tier, swap back to Rhapsody, and then I do my chain spirit steps and awakening, and you're gonna be right around the cooldown time for your charge again. So it's gonna look something like this. And if it's not around, you can just keep doing this till you get soul tier again and go back into charge. So that's pretty much what you want to use for her movement. And there's some other things like you can add like Flower Shroud. You can do like the startup of Flower Shroud and go straight into twirling. So like right when you get in, oops, I messed it up. It's like you're doing like a C swap into twirling. See? So that's some more movement stuff. I think you can do it to the back too. Yeah, you can do the backward shroud into twirling. So you have some pretty cool movement options. But yeah, her three 0.7 cc's that you want to keep an eye on or utilize the most is Charmed, Soul Tier, and then your Flesh. So those are your three 0.7 cc's, and we'll come back to those later. Now we're gonna go into your 1 cc's that are really good. Her best engaging 1 cc would be the ambush, which pretty much immediately puts you behind your opponent if they are not blocking or in a super armor. If they are not blocking, and if they aren't in a super armor or full guard, they will be getting hit by that CC. It's a really strong engagement tool that I like, and the crazy part about ambush is that you can do it to the left, right, or straight forward. So this allows you to kind of can't manipulate how the move works. So if you see your opponent, I can't really show you on a bot. Unfortunately, I wish I had a friend here who I could test this stuff on. But if they're if they're just walking back and blocking like I'm doing now, you can angle your ambush to the side, and you'll do a side ambush, and it'll kind of sometimes that goes behind their forward guard, and you can get some really nice combos off like that. And you can, as you can see, you can do it to either side, or you can go straight behind them. Now, another one of your 1 cc's is gonna be your slash ability, and you can do a cool thing about slash. You can do slash immediately out of any other move. So I could do flesh here, straight into slash, and now he's floated. Now this is good for also when you're just using like your chain spirit step. If you get behind your opponent with one of these, you can just turn around, immediately do slash, and that's a float right there. It's not protected on the first hit, but it is a good way to like mix up your approaches. So I do like doing that from time to time, but it's not one I cleave. And cleave I kind of just use as my second CC if my knockdowns are on cooldown, or if ambush is on cooldown, or slash. So it's not one I use all the time, but it's definitely it's a faster float. If you notice, it comes out extremely fast. So you can kind of slip that in there and then go back into protection sometimes. So it's not one I lean towards using a lot, but yeah. And then your other CCs with the core skill, you have the KD on Finale, which puts them on their ass for 4 seconds, which I really like. And then you have your KD from Crush, which puts them on their ass for 4 seconds. So those are your the two CCs you want to put in a combo the most. You want to do one of your KDs as the as either the first CC or your last CC. And one move I want to warn you guys about, I don't use this move. This move is terrible. I really need to swap my ring menu as well. And they need to buff this move. I'm so serious. This move right here, Torrent, has some pretty good damage on it. You recover some HP per hit, but it's not really crazy because it's only like 3 hits. But the main issue with this move that I found is you can't do a Spirit Forge version of it. The activation time of this skill and the speed of this skill is so slow that 9 times out of 10, you using this move is going to get you caught. It's going to get you punished. Like, I can't stress that enough. This move is, I have not found a use for this move after a whole month. Like, there's just no point. The most I've done with this move is if you use Twirling Retreat, you can cancel the first 2 attacks and go straight into your 3rd attack, and it's just the forward guard. But if you do the skill just by itself, look at this slow forward guard. You can turn it in the animation, so like you can turn around, but there's pretty much no point if the move is coming out that slow, and it's a forward guard. So as long as your opponent gets behind you, you're vulnerable. You're just gonna do ambush into one of your KDs, into twirling, slash, and that's pretty much gonna kill most classes. Thank y'all for checking out this video, man. I really had a fun time editing it. I did get a little tired here near the end, so I'm probably gonna make a part 2. But if you made it this far, just keep a lookout for another video.